a soul bound by the threads of time and emotion, whispering secrets from the depths of my heart. Tonight, I want to share a memory, a moment that lingered long after it had passed, a delicate dance of sensations and emotions that left an indelible mark on my being. The night was cloaked in a velvety darkness, and the world around me was hushed, as if nature itself was holding its breath. I stood by the window, the cool breeze brushing against my skin like a lover's gentle caress. My fingers, delicate and light, traced the edge of the window frame, feeling the contrast of the smooth wood against my warm skin. It was a simple touch, yet it awakened something deep within me, a yearning that had been quietly simmering, waiting for a moment like this to rise to the surface. As I stood there, lost in the soft murmur of the wind and the rustling of leaves, I felt a presence, a familiar warmth that made my heart beat just a little faster. I turned, slowly, and my gaze met his. He was standing there, his eyes, a deep, mesmerizing shade, locked onto mine. There was something in his gaze, a depth that spoke of 1,000 unspoken words, of nights spent together in silence, of whispers shared in the dark. He didn't move, nor did I. It was as if we were both suspended in time, the world around us fading into nothingness. All that existed in that moment was the space between us, charged with an electric anticipation. My breath hitched as he took a slow, deliberate step towards me, his movements graceful and measured, like a predator closing in on its prey. But there was no fear, no hesitation, only a deep, aching desire that pulsed between us, growing stronger with each passing second. He raised his hand, his fingers brushing against my cheek with a tenderness that made my eyes flutter shut. I leaned into his touch, the warmth of his skin deeping into mine, melting the invisible barriers I had built around my heart. He moved closer, his body mere inches from mine, and I could feel the heat radiating from him, enveloping me in a cocoon of shared desire. His breath was warm against my neck, and I shivered as his lips brushed lightly against the sensitive skin just below my ear. It was the barest of touches, a whisper of what could be, but it sent a shiver down my spine, igniting a fire that blazed through my veins. "Seraphina," he murmured, his voice low and resonant, wrapping around me like a velvet ribbon. "I've missed you." His words, simple yet filled with so much longing, made my heart ache. I opened my eyes, meeting his gaze once more, and saw the vulnerability there, the yearning that mirrored my own. I raised my hand, tracing the line of his jaw with my fingertips, marveling at the way his breath hitched under my touch. "I've missed you too," I whispered, my voice trembling with the intensity of my emotions, more than words can say. His hand slid down, his fingers brushing against the curve of my waist, sending ripples of pleasure through me. He pulled me closer, our bodies pressed together, and I could feel the rapid beat of his heart my soul, healing the wounds of loneliness and longing that had festered for too long. I arched against him, my body responding to his every touch, every word, with a fervor that surprised even me. I had been starved for this, for him, for the connection that flared to life whenever we were together. He lifted me then, his strong arms cradling me against his chest as he carried me to the bed. I looked up at him, my heart in my eyes, and saw the same love, the same desire reflected in his gaze. He laid me down gently, his hands lingering on my body, as if reluctant to let go even for a moment. He leaned over me, his lips capturing mine in another searing kiss, and I lost myself in the taste of him, in the feel of his body against mine. His hands slid down, caressing my sides, my hips, and I gasped as he traced the curve of my thigh with his fingertips. It was a delicate, almost reverent touch, one that sent a thrill of anticipation racing through me. His lips left mine, trailing down my neck, my collarbone, until they reached the swell of my breast. I moaned, my back arching as he took one of my nipples into his mouth, his tongue teasing the sensitive peak until I was trembling with need. He lavished attention on me, his hands and mouth working in perfect harmony to drive me to the brink of madness. Every touch, every kiss was a testament to the love and desire that burned between us, a flame that had been kindled long ago and had never truly died. He worshipped my body with a reverence that brought tears to my eyes, his every movement a silent declaration of his love. When he finally entered me, it was with a slow, deliberate tenderness that stole my breath away. I gasped, my body arching against his as he filled me, the sensation of him inside me almost too much to bear. He moved with a gentle, steady rhythm, his hands holding me close as if I were something precious and fragile. I wrapped my legs around him, pulling him deeper, and he groaned, his eyes dark with desire as he looked down at me. There was so much love in his gaze, so much passion, that it took my breath away. I reached up, cupping his face in my hands, and pulled him down for a kiss that was both desperate and tender, pouring all the love I felt for him into that one moment. We moved together, our bodies finding a rhythm that was both familiar and new, a dance that was as old as time itself. Each thrust, each touch, sent waves of pleasure crashing through me, building higher and higher until I was trembling on the edge of release. He whispered my name, his voice a rough, broken plea, and I let go, surrendering to the pleasure that swept through me like a tidal wave. I cried out, my body arching against his as I shattered, the world around me dissolving into a haze of bliss. He followed me over the edge, his own release a powerful, shuddering climax that left us both breathless and trembling. For a long moment, we lay there, our bodies tangled together, our breaths mingling in the quiet aftermath. He held me close, his hand stroking my hair, his touch gentle and soothing. I nestled against him, my heart full, the weight of all my fears and doubts lifted away by the love that shone in his eyes. Seraphina, he murmured, his voice a soft caress against my ear. You are my everything. I looked up at him, my heart swelling with love, and smiled. And you are mine, I whispered, my voice trembling with the depth of my emotions. Always. Have you ever felt a love so profound that it became a part of your very soul? Share your thoughts and stories with me, and let's explore the depths of emotion together.